We've all been there, right? That one plan that just falls apart. Or that deadline that keeps you up at night. Well, today's story is all about finding this incredible peace right in the middle of all that chaos. And you're not going to believe where it starts. In the most ordinary of places.
The author actually calls this a love letter to trust, mugs, and the magic of gratitude. I mean, what a combination, right? Trust, mugs, and gratitude. It's so intriguing because it promises that we can find something truly magical in our everyday lives if we just learn how to shift our perspective from worry to wonder.
And that brings us to the central puzzle, the big question we're going to unpack. How on earth can a simple mug, something you probably have dozens of, completely transform your entire mindset? It sounds a little out there, I know, but stick with me, let's follow the breadcrumbs and see where this goes.
Okay, so let's start the story. Picture this. We're heading into a pretty mundane place, a dollar store, with those bright fluorescent lights. But inside, a simple object is about to become a powerful portal to a whole new way of thinking.
So she's wandering the aisles of a dollar store, and she spots this simple, deep red campfire mug. And you know that voice we all have, the practical one. It immediately kicks in, like, you do not need another mug. But there was just something about this one, something she couldn't walk away from.
You see, it wasn't just a piece of ceramic. It was a feeling. The moment she looked at it, she was whisked away to cozy cabins, to campfires under the stars, to the sound of laughter. It was like a direct hotline to one of her deepest core values, adventure.
And just like that, this $3 mug became what she calls a portal. It wasn't just for coffee anymore. It became this daily, physical reminder of who she is at her core and what she truly cherishes in life.
But right as she finds this tiny anchor of peace, a storm of uncertainty is brewing on the horizon, and that newfound sense of calm, it's about to be put to a major, major test.
So, here's what was causing all the stress. She had a plan, a very specific plan. Get a tenant into her 2-bedroom unit by a certain date. Simple enough, right? But the days just kept ticking by, and the unit was still empty. I mean, you can almost feel that familiar knot of anxiety tightening in your own stomach just thinking about it.
And this, right here, is where the whole story pivots. Because instead of spiraling down into that stress, which would have been so easy to do, she made a conscious, deliberate choice to completely change her perspective on the whole situation.
This is the choice she was facing, laid out plain and simple. On the left, you've got the default mode for so many of us, right? Force it, worry, try to control everything. It is exhausting. But the path on the right, that's a radical act of letting go, to just breathe and to trust that things are unfolding exactly as they should, even if it's not on our schedule.
So how do you actually do that? How do you make that jump from anxiety to trust? Well, it wasn't some complicated 10-step program. It all started with one deceptively simple question that completely shifted her focus. What is going well?
And the moment she asked that question, the answers just came flooding in. And we're not talking about huge, dramatic wins here. We're talking about the foundational blessings that we so often take for granted. All of a sudden, the stress over one empty rental unit, it just seems so small when she weighed it against the incredible richness of having things like health, a home, and a loving family. And this shift, this pivot to gratitude, it opened the door to something much, much deeper. It led to this profound sense of peace that can only come from trusting in the things you simply can't see or control. This quote, right here, this is the heart of her new perspective. I have no idea what God is protecting me from, and I don't wish to know. Wow, that is a complete release of the need to control. It's reframing what feels like a failure, not as a problem, but as a form of hidden protection. I mean, think about that. What if the thing you want not happening is actually the best thing that could happen to you? This really visualizes the core lesson perfectly, doesn't it? It's about making a choice. The choice to step off that rigid, stressful highway of our own deadlines, and instead step into the flowing river of what she calls divine alignment. It's about letting go of the how and the when. So this whole experience didn't just give her a nice story to tell, it gave her a powerful, actionable framework, a kind of formula really, for moving through life with way more grace and a lot less friction. And here it is. This is the formula she landed on. It's this simple 3-step flow. First, you have to trust. You have to trust that there's a bigger plan at play even when you can't see it. Once that trust is your foundation, you can align your energy, your thoughts, your actions with that belief, instead of with your fear.
And it's only from that place of alignment that life has the room it needs to unfold in truly miraculous ways.
And all of this leads to her powerful final statement. I want you to notice the shift here. The title of this piece was, I will be okay, but look where she ends up. I will be fabulous. That's a huge difference. And that confidence, it doesn't come from knowing the outcome. It comes from a deep, unshakable trust in the journey itself, and in who is on that journey with her. The author wraps things up with this quote from Melody Beattie, and honestly, it feels like it was written for this exact story. It just perfectly captures the core idea. Gratitude isn't passive. It's not just saying thank you. It's an active, alchemical force that literally transforms our reality, turning chaos into order.
And so this whole beautiful story leaves us with one final, very personal question. I want you to think about your own life, right now. Your own stresses, your own deadlines. What is just one worry? It can be big or small, that you could try, just for today, to trade for a moment of gratitude.